Welcome to my tutorial number 9, and it's titled How to Make a Spin Wheel for a Board Game. We'll start by opening a new Flash document and open your library panel. It's up under Windows if you don't have it, right there. And down the bottom is this little new symbol. Click on that. We're making a movie clip and we're calling it Wheel. WHEEL_MC. I have my alignment table open. That's also under Windows if it's not open, and there it is there, alignment table. We're going to select the line tool. We're going to pick up a crazy color. I'm going to pick up blue, and I'm going to draw a straight line there. I'm going to pick up my selection tool, highlight it, and go over to my alignment panel. See how that's a square, and now it's a square with inside of a rectangle inside a rectangle. That means we're aligning to stage. Click this center one here, and the center one here. Now that's aligned. It's selected. Get the cursor on it so you get those crosshairs. Right click, copy. Right click, paste in place. Open up the transform tab. Rotate is clicked, and rotate this 60 degrees. Paste in place again down here on my stage. Paste in place again. This time rotate 120 degrees, and there we have 6 equal segments. Pick up the oval tool. Keep the stroke color blue and make sure there is no fill. Right here, this red line in the square means there's no fill. I have the oval tool selected. I can see that. Hold the shift down and we'll make a circle. And just make sure your circle is going to be approximate size of those lines. Click on your selection tool, double click on your circle, go back to your alignment panel, alignment tab, and align that center to stage, and there's our start of our spin wheel. Pick up a fill bucket and fill in each of these with different colors at random. There's one there, I like that color. 1, 2, 3. There. And finally, let's make this ring a little bit larger so it covers. I'm picking up my selection tool. While it's selected, I'm going to make it a little bit larger. I'm going to come down here into this properties panel, and instead of it being 60, I'm going to make it, let's see if this will work, 65. Now they'll both change because they're locked together when I hit the enter, and that was just a little bit too, no, that looks pretty nice. I like that. So that's my wheel. Call that layer wheel. We're now going to put a object on this wheel, and we're going to call that a ball. My oval tool. I want the fill to be a red, and let the outside be black. Go up here and let's work with a bigger picture. There it is. Alright. And I got my oval tool selected. Let's open up new layer. Click on this layer. And let's call this ball 1. So we're going to just call it ball 1. And we're going to put that ball on this layer. Select frame 2. Right click and insert a blank keyframe. The layer of the wheel layer, I want to make that go to frame 7. There's 5, 6, 7, so that's I think that's it there. So on frame 7, right click, insert a keyframe, and there's my wheel. Lock it. Go back to that frame 2 of ball 1, right there, and now I have my oval tool selected. I'm going to make the stroke size much smaller, back down to about a 1. There we go. I'm going to hold the shift down, my oval tool selected, and make my ball right here. There it is. Use my selection tool, select my ball, and put it so it is just touching or close to touching the sides of my spin wheel, that frame. Okay. Go back up here to click on ball, make another layer. Call this ball 6. In the third frame over, insert a blank keyframe. Go back to frame 1, or excuse me, go back to frame 2 of ball 1. This is all selected. Right click, copy it, click on that frame 3, paste in place, and drag it down there. Now I'm going to pause, and I'm going to fill those other frames in, and it's going to be random numbers to give me a total from 1 to 6. Okay, let's look and see what I have done. I've created a layer ball 6, ball 2, ball 4, ball 5, ball 3, and a ball 1. So if I go across my timeline, on frame 1 I have no balls selected. There's frame 1 is ball 1, then it becomes ball 6, ball 2, ball 4, ball 5, and ball 3. Let's go back to scene 1 for a minute, and let's just drag, call this layer wheel. That's the frame I'm putting my wheel on. And let's just drag this wheel up on frame 1. There it is. And let's just test this movie and see what happens. Spin it. The reason it's blanking out is because it's going back to that blank frame 1, and that's the first thing we gotta fix. Open my wheel movie clip and go to my top layer. In my case it's ball 3. Insert a layer, call this action script, AS, and on this 8th frame right here, that's frame 8. If you don't have one, add a blank keyframe on all those and drag it over, and drag this wheel, click and drag it into frame 8. So the only thing on frame 8 is my wheel and my action script. So click here, insert blank keyframe, And in here we're going to have some code to tell us to go back to frame 2. With the 8th frame selected of my action script layer, open the actions panel and type in this. Go to, small g, and capital A, play, capital play, P, frame 2. 2 being in brackets and a colon. Now let's look at the movie. There it is, running nice and smooth. Okay, when we start our movie or start our game, if we're having a game, we don't want that spinning wheel to be spinning, so go back to scene 1, new layer, action script, select frame 1, open the actions panel and type this in. Capital W, wheel, underscore MC, that's the movie clip wheel that we made, period, stop, open and close brackets, colon. This will prevent that from running. It will stay in frame 1, and we know frame 1 has no motion in it. Now if I'm going to use wheel in the action script, I gotta give wheel a instance name. So I'm locking my layers, unlocking my wheel layer, selecting it, selecting my wheel, and I'm going to copy this right here. That's the name of it, wheel MC. Copy that and paste it in here, and there's my instance name. Now this should not be running this time. There, it's sitting there. What we have to do now is make a button to tell it to start and a button to tell it when to stop. I'm going to make a new layer for my buttons. Click on the wheels layer, buttons, and I've made 2 buttons. Here they are, 2 buttons. You know how to make a button. And the first button is the green button. That's going to tell me to start my movie clip wheels. And the second button is the red button to tell it to stop. So let's click on the green button. Open the actions panel. This is a simple function for a button. On bracket, release bracket. Curly bracket opens. Wheel movie clip play, and it's a capital W for wheel, and close curly bracket. That will start the wheel spinning, and naturally if we're going to start it, we want to stop it. Again, on release of this button, we're going to stop. Let's see if that works. Test my movie. There it's spinning. Stop spinning. Spinning. Stop spinning. Let's go back to the movie clip wheel. And let's put a number in each of these sections. So let's go and click my highest layer with my ball, in my case ball 3. Insert a layer where we can put my numbers. Insert layer, and we'll call this text. That's where I'm putting my numbers. We know that frame 2 is ball 1 or count 1, so we'll insert a blank keyframe, and this is for this one here, and that has to be correspond to the value 1. Pick up the text tool. It has white. Let's make it blue. Blue shows better on red than white. And let's make a text box, static text. Let's see what happens. We'll leave the font size 9 for now and type in 1. Pick up the selection tool, drag that down, and that fits right in there. Just go to this frame 3, click on it, right click, insert blank keyframe. This blank keyframe now is going to correspond to our next number, which is 6. Go back to frame 2 for a minute. That's make sure everything is locked except the text. See those crosshairs? Right click, copy it. Go to frame 3, paste in place, and just drag it over and put it here. But now this has to be a 6. Double click on it and turn it into a 6. Go to frame 4, insert a keyframe this time. Insert a keyframe, and this 6, pick your selection tool, and the 6, click on it, drag it down to here, and this corresponds to 2 count. So let's change that to a, double click on it, highlight it, change it to a 2. And I think we want to tab it to the left a bit. Go to the next frame, insert a keyframe. Saves us from copying and pasting a lot. This corresponds to number 4. So drag it into here. Double click on it, changes to a 4. I want that over a little bit. Back up to our text layer, the next frame. Insert a keyframe. Pick it up, drag it over here. And this one corresponds to 5. Double click on it, turn it into a 5. And center it somewhat. There we go. And for the last one, again, insert a keyframe. Pick it up, drag it up here. And this is spin count 3. Click on this last frame, right click, and clear the frame. Let's see what that looks like. Nothing happens when I press my stop button, press my start button, and when I stop, that's 1 count. That's 6, 1, 3, 6. Go back to frame 1 for a minute, or scene 1. Double click on this 12 frames per second. Double click on it and make it 24. It'll be much faster and less likely someone can figure out when to press the button. Let's press it now. Now it's spinning good. There's a 2, there's a 1, a 3. This is a pretty simple tutorial. I hope you learned something from it, and I hope you use it.